Hello everyone, this is Palash Vishnani and topic of my presentation today is reading skills. So let's just start with this topic. So reading, first of all, what do you mean by the word reading? Reading is the intake of information. Whatever information we intake from social media or from reading any book is called reading skills, which is very important for your success. Take charge of your reading. That means you should give importance to the skill and work on it because this is really very important for your communication. Commit to reading goals. These are some points which will tell you that you should commit to your reading goals. Stay positive. Reading can be enjoyable, right? Second is break chapter into chunks, break chapter into parts. And third is preview each chunk before you start. Fourth, take breaks. That is also really a nice point. Read other sources if there's confusion in reading, you should use sometimes dictionary while you don't know the meaning of some words and etc other points. Now, plan time and space to concentrate. That's necessary because when sometimes you are reading something important, you should be totally concentrated to what you are reading. College reading take a great deal of concentration. That's yeah. So second point is schedule time to read in a place where you won't be interrupted. That means sit in a place or in a room, lock the room while you are reading or doing some important work. Find an environment in which you can concentrate best. That's important point. Now now we will see primary and secondary sources of reading. So these are two different terms. Primary sources, primary source, material written in some original form, more difficult reading level. This is primary source is a source which is a bit difficult in reading level, reading autobiographies, speeches, government documentaries, which are a bit difficult. Secondary source is a bit simple than primary source, magazine article, which summarize or interprets primary source. Now developing your vocabulary. This topic, developing your vocabulary is important as you level up with your reading skills. Developing your vocabulary is a very important thing to do. Consider the context around new and challenging words. Second point, jot down unfamiliar terms and find the meaning using a dictionary, right? You should find the meaning of the words which you don't know while you are reading something. So then analyze terms to discover the most meaningful part of the word. And the last one is take the opportunity to use new terms in your writing and speaking. Now, elements of your reading plan or methods of reading. Now, here are some methods we will see while you are reading something. You should plan some things while you are reading some important things. Preview. Scan the material to see what lies ahead. Consider the length of the reading assignment and estimate how long it will take. You should plan this, how long this reading work will take, whatever article or whatever thing you are reading. You should plan that thing. Consider the difficulty and plan the time accordingly. Of course, you should plan the time accordingly, how much time it will take. Reviewing to remember the main points of the material. You should review the things to know what are the main points of the material. Test yourself on your comprehension. You should test yourself afterwards. You read something, you should revise it, you should review it what you have read. Some ways to review, of course: notes, study question, flashcards, of course. Skimming take place at very high rate of speed. It shows little concern for comprehension of the text. This is skimming. Skimming covers the context at the general level. It involves reading at about twice or normal rate. It tells you the speed, what how much you are concentrated, and how much at what speed you are reading some things, you are skipping things or whatever. Focus on introductory statement, topic statement, and bold-faced terms, of course. Enable you to gather the surface idea if you don't have enough time to read deeply. Yes, so now scanning. Scanning is also a term you should plan while you are reading something. The reader turns the page quickly, but once he finds the appropriate page, he reads the information on the page slowly to search for a specific idea or information. Active reading. Identify yourself completely in what the author is trying to say. Throw yourself into his mind. You should let yourself throw yourself into his mind, and see yourself as a reader, as a writer actually. In other words, you get really interested and involved in what you are reading, of course. um, Analytic reading or critical reading. These are two terms, major terms in your reading skills. Reading at a more intensive level enable you to try to spot flaw in the writer's logic. Uh, this is a nice point, and promotes a comparison of the work to other works. Should involve question the author and yourself. Aesthetic or pleasure reading, as you can see in the picture. Tips for improving your reading ability. So these are some tips which you can use for improving your reading ability. Find a quick study location. Find a quiet study location. Second point, read in 50-minute block with breaks in between. Sometimes you get exhausted when you are reading something huge or large articles, then you are exhausted, so you should take breaks in between. Take notes. Experiment with what your reading rate. Experiment with your reading rate. Yes, of course. Focus on key issues in the text. Highlighting text. So this is important when you are reading something like your job application, something, or like very important related to your job, so you should highlight things with a highlighter or some kind of pen. Improve important points for college reading. You are expected to read the material and understand it on your own. Yes. Successful student complete assigned reading before class to help them understand the lecture. Of course, as we do sometimes. Summary of strategies to improve reading skills. So this is the summary that we already read in this whole PPT. So thank you guys. This was my today's topic, reading skills. This is roll number 8262 and signing out. Thank you.